morning, delivery fam, and welcome back to another episode of Breakfast with UDM on the Life of a Gig Worker podcast.
In today's episode, I want to start off your week with just a little bit of motivation. So let's kick your week off right with a quote. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. UDM, how you feel about this, bro?
Opportunities. I love them, bro. I love opportunities. I was that guy, especially with like in gig content creation. I was the multi-apping channel, right? Before many other people adopted multi-apping, I was man, I got to get it over here. I got to get it over there. Or I got to get all these opportunities. At one point, people were just telling me, oh, you should invest more time into one so you could learn how to work it. I'm like, I don't give a damn about how to work it. I know the basics. I want the money that it will give me. But the opportunities that I get out here, the options that I am making for myself, I'm looking at many different things, man. And I've been telling people there's money out here for years. Before even becoming a gig content creator, I was trying to motivate people on my Facebook page. At the time, I had a Facebook profile and I was on Facebook a lot more. You know,
motivation is huge. I mean, when I think of opportunities, the first thing that comes to mind is that little commercial. You remember the opportunities knocking, and he knocks on the TV screen.
Yep,
that's what I think about. And there's so many opportunities out here for people to create for themselves.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's not something that's commonly talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, because most people, from my lens, what I've seen is most people don't know how to create a lane for themselves. They wait for someone to create a lane for them. And I don't want to make this sound bad, but it's like we have been programmed in such a way that we can't rely on our own decisions to create these new opportunities. We don't know how to innovate. We don't know how to do certain things for ourselves. Those that do, they are ahead of the curve. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people here think or will see the gig economy as their own little opportunity. But a lot of people only are one-track minds. So, right, they're on this opportunity path right now, but there's no second lane, left lane, right lane like I-95. There's no tollway, nothing. So they're in their mind, they're thinking that this opportunity is the only thing going for them. It's their freedom of schedulability. It's their freedom of monetary gains. They can work whenever they want, accept what they want, decline what they want. But a lot of people don't think about the positivity and the opportunities that are here for us to go further with the gig economy, like we talked about in the past episodes.
Now, I'll tell you this, like I even had to paint a picture for my wife, right? It's she's not a teacher. She used to teach, right? She moved up in ranks in the school system, right? Mm-hmm. But I said she had to renew her teaching certificate because she may need to still work in the classroom in case a teacher's out, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know how all that works, but I said to myself, this is the picture I painted for her. I said, babe, you know you're going to get that teaching certificate. Why not create something for yourself instead of being limited with what they pay you? Because the earnings that you make with all the knowledge you got, the earnings you make don't match up. And your degrees and everything, that don't match up, babe. And this is me talking to her, and I'm already developing an opportunity for her to see. I'm creating this lane. And yes, that's my other half. You know what I mean? So if she don't see it and I see it, let me tell her about it. I said, if you got this teaching certificate, you have all these degrees, why not start your own business to do something where it may be the first of its kind, where the district will then hire you to do certain jobs with their students. But that's because you have all the certificates needed to be a teacher, but you have your own business. You're not working for the district, but the district would outsource your teaching. I can't find my words right now, but your expert decisions in being a teacher. You being a teacher, you create this opportunity for yourself, and you have an opportunity to get paid more because you chose this lane versus the other lane of just working for them.
Oh yeah, no, 1,000%. Sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of motivation from either a loved one or someone close to you, or even a content creator. My goal here, there was a lot of negativity going about in the gig content space, like a lot, and we used to talk a lot about motivation and used to do the get your money streams and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people have lost their way in that aspect of things. They're just all in this monotonous over and over. We got to do this. The gig companies are screwing us here. The customers ain't tipping, so we can't do this. But instead of focusing on the negativity, I want people to start focusing on the opportunities that they have to move forward and utilize these gig apps as a stepping stone. I've said it for years. The stepping stone to getting out of the gig economy is where we need to be. Not that everybody needs to get out of the gig economy. You know what I mean? Some people, this is their retirement. It's easy for them. But for the younger folks that they drive and want and have a desire to become more, that's where I want, people's mind to be, instead of stuck in this negativity of getting screwed over all the time.
Right. I understand that. It's definitely, I look at it, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm a big brother, even to people that are older than I am. I feel like I'm a big brother to them in the gig economy because I've done it for a lot longer. I've been on the road a lot longer than they have, and they reach out to me about just about everything. Is this order worth it? Is it not? And sometimes I throw it right back at them. Do you feel it's worth it? Because every market is different, and I don't know what challenges they face. But the thing is, man, it's like, just looking at how it almost feels like they're stuck,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes right back to, I think, in a previous conversation we had about, like, they are comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And being comfortable will blind you from seeing the opportunities around you. I remember in a stream I did on another channel, on my other channel, I should say, that I said, like, sometimes you got to stop and enjoy the view. Sometimes people are just so focused on going for the money and the routine that they have. That's all they focus on. They can't stop and enjoy the view. Enjoying the view does, for me, it reduces my stress, and it opens my eyes, or my senses are elevated because I now see, smell, and possibly taste opportunity. You know what I mean? And I look at it, man, and I sometimes I feel bad for drivers that came in after me, but they can't seem to get out of that lane that they attacked when they first started with gigs. And I'm in another lane and I'm looking at them. I created so many lanes for myself, and I want the same for them. But looking at them from my lens, I'm like, damn, come on, man, come on over here. But I also don't like to spoon feed anyone at the same time. I want them to see it for themselves, because only then they will appreciate what they see and
And
hear and possibly taste.
And I think, I mean, me and you both, we've kind of been spoiled in being spoon fed opportunities and motivation throughout this journey that me and you have had. I remember, like I talked about in the last episode, I started in this with Postmates, and there was no information, there was no videos, gig content creators at that point.
Right.
All it was sign up for an app and make money. The first couple of days the first day I drove around with the app off. I didn't even know you had to turn it on. You used to have to go into your profile and then go online. So I thought, oh, well, they'll just see that I'm in this zone where these little bubbles are, and they'll know I'm here. I'm clocking in. It's ready. It's time to go. But since then, since I have been in this space so long, we have seen opportunities come, some good, some bad. I
Mhm.
remember we tried to do a positive spin on the pay model changes and everything that came about. But like getting onto new apps, that alone for me was huge motivation because Postmates, it didn't pay the best. I got paid really well for some of the crazy crap I did on there, but there's definitely more opportunity out there. And I remember telling myself, I didn't quit Domino's to just do Postmates. I came out here to make money. So I got to
Yeah.
find those ways. I got to, you had to push yourself to get out the door sometimes.
Yeah.
And in gig work, I used to find myself leaving the house at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And it's just like, well, I'm my own boss. I can do whatever I want.
Right.
But I had to motivate myself and tell myself, hey, I'm leaving this opportunity or this money on the table by coming out at 10 o'clock. I'm missing the early morning rush. These Starbucks orders they're going to deliver themselves. Somebody else is going to grab it.
Yeah.
So I feel like we were definitely spoon fed a lot of opportunity because we grew up with the apps. And as new apps came about, we also got to experience that new phase where everybody was trying to take care of the new drivers with the new company and paying really well. And there's still a lot of opportunity out here, especially you've started in the catering space,
Yeah.
and that was a new space for you. I know I ventured off into like the handiwork and some of like the logistics, like dolly and handy and tackle and thumbtack. So like I said, I think there's a lot of opportunity that people leave on the table instead of just complaining about what they're doing. They can do something else within that same gig content space or gig space.
Now, just to kind of like, it's not just not seeing the opportunity. Sometimes they see the opportunity, but they're just, like I said, they're comfortable and they compare that new opportunity versus this current opportunity that they have, and they say, "Man, I got to do more work. I'd rather just do this," you know. But that other more work might not even be what they think it is, right?
Okay.
That more work mentality, no, that might not even happen, right? And the pay might be a lot more, and it free up a lot more time for them to do something else or to find another opportunity, right? It's
Oh
just
yeah.
that comfortable feeling is what I feel is what's holding a lot of drivers back. And
1,000%.
and the minute, and that's why I said they got to enjoy the view. So many of them are just stuck. It's almost like they're programmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it like this, but it's just from my lens, from my lane, looking over to the other driver that I say I was once there and now I'm over here. But the reason I'm over here is because I saw this opportunity and I tried before I locked in this opportunity that I have with the catering and all that. I tried to pull people with me. And a lot of these people, sometimes it just felt like they were just pulling me back. Like, I'm not moving. They were just really stubborn until the opportunity that I created for myself, or this lane that I'm in now with catering, it started that door of building something with it and locking in an experience that you would love. It started to get difficult, right? So at this point, what I'm saying, or the point that I'm trying to get to, is if a person is watching this right now, understanding that food delivery isn't the end all. There are other opportunities, but you have to open your eyes and see it before I do. I
Mm-hmm.
am the opportunist, right? I'm the person that's always looking. I'm always looking for what new opportunities is out there. And if you get there before I do, I salute. because I'm always trying to figure out a new way to make money. And if we're talking about gigs, I'm always looking for a new way to make money with gigs. Cause
Mm.
right now, gigs is a source of income for me. And it is majority of a source of income for me right now. But the last thing I'll say, and I'll pass the mic right back to you, is it's a shame that even in the market that I'm in right now, that I can thrive with gigs, and I see other drivers that can't. And they complain, some of them complain to my wife, the ones that she knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Complain to my wife of how difficult it is. And I'm like, it is not. You're just blind right
a lot
now.
a lot of people are.
And
And
you gotta enjoy the view. You gotta see what's out here, you know? But go ahead.
yeah. No, and that's the thing. You remember that video I made about tackle years ago when it
Yeah.
first came out? Okay.
Yeah.
So that was one of the I remember calling you before I went to that job and I was like, "Hey man, it just says general labor. Like what should I prepare for it?" Like we talked about it cuz I
Yeah.
was excited. It was something new. And in the beginning, tackle had like a per hour thing, but it wasn't really accurate. So it had told me that I was going to make $60 per hour. And when I got there, the guy was like, "Hey, can you throw this plumeria tree in the ground? Like just dig a hole, put it in the ground." He's like, "My back hurts. I don't want to do it." I was like, "Damn, yeah, I could do that."
Yeah.
Like and I asked him, I said, "You got a shovel?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a shovel." And then when I was done with that, it took me like 15 minutes. I
Yeah.
remember calling you and I was like, "Yo, just made $120 planting a fucking tree." And then
Yeah.
this was the crazy part. So he was like, "Hey, yo, do you think you could like replace this light bulb up here and do this and do that?" So in the app, it used to have like ad services. And dude, I walked out of there with like $600-700, bro. I was hooked. Every time I seen a thumbtack or a tactical come through, I was like, mine. And it was
Bro.
always easy shit.
It was. I'll never forget my first experience with Tackle. And for those that don't, that never heard of Tackle, it was TAKL, right? I love the app so much that the shirt that I got, I was wearing it out to do other apps,
that
right?
was bullshit that they gave you a shirt and they didn't give me no damn shirt.
Hey, whatever, right? But the experience, and a lot of it was just so, it's like very simple jobs. And there were times they hired two separate people on the same Tackle app to do one job. So you're not doing it all by yourself. Like, say, for instance, in your situation, right? This person probably ordered something to get some jobs done on Tackle, right? And then they just want you to plant the tree, but then they get another person to screw the light bulb in or whatever. And then next thing you know, both of y'all there at the same job at the same time doing different jobs. But now this person like, man, my back hurting. Can y'all do this too? I'll give y'all a tip in the app. And now y'all collaborating on 1/3 job, and you add it to your job list. You know what I'm saying?
I remember calling you about one like that, bro. So
Yeah.
I was underneath the sink and I'm fixing there was a leak in the P trap, right? And I knew from my experience of working with the hotels and the maintenance, I was like, "Oh, that's just one of those rubber gaskets. I go throw that on, get it at Lowe's for 12 cents. I made $100."
Yeah.
But then as I get down, there's another knock at the door. Boom, boom, boom. There go opportunity knocking that I passed up and didn't see in the app, right?
Yeah.
So he knocked on the door and he's like, "Oh, I'm here to fix a light switch." I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm still under the sink, and all of a sudden I'm tightening the last one, and all of a sudden, poof, the power goes out. The lady was pissed. She said, "What the hell?" She said, "You better get out of my house. You done knocked out my power," because he crossed the two wires while they were live, and he knocked the power out, blew the breaker. And she looked at me. I'm under the sink, and I was trying to mind my business while she yelled at him. So I'm fake turning the thing. So you know what I mean? Because they got to sign off on it. So I'm just like Ain't nothing happening over here. So
you gotta make sure your opportunity is good to go.
Bro, yeah, she was snapping, bro, snapping. So I'm just over here just tightening and tightening. And then she kicks him out and she's like, "You done over there?" I was like, "I've been done for 5 minutes. I just ain't want to get up." She's like, "You know how to fix that?" I said, "Yeah, it's just a breaker." I said, "But I didn't know that your light switch was out. Otherwise, I would have just done it myself."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You could do that for me?" I was like, "Yeah." So I flipped the breaker back on, separated the wires, put a new switch in. It took literally about 3.5 minutes. And I was like, "There you go. You're good to go." She's like, "Oh,
go ahead."
She's like, "Oh, can I get a refund for him?" I said, "Look, I'm not gonna snitch him out. That's on you." I said, "But if you want to pay me what you paid him and file a collections or charge back with your bank, that's on you."
Well, I see that as you could have kept your mouth shut. And that no, check this out. You could have kept your mouth shut, and like the quote says, opportunities don't happen, you create them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you had kept your mouth shut, telling that lady that you can do this too, I'm pretty sure she would have just paid you, or you would have just got paid for doing the job you went and did, right?
Yeah.
But you ended up leaving with how much?
I think it was like 185 because the light switch she paid 85 for and $100 for plumbing repair.
So instead of leaving with 100, you open up your mouth and you told that person, that customer, I could do this too. And what? For real? All right.
Oh yeah.
Then you get her lights back on, $85. How long did this opportunity take for you to finish the job, both jobs?
I mean, most of it was me sitting there because I had already had everything ready. I had her send me pictures beforehand. So I knew what size little rubber fitting to get. And then I was just sitting there because she was going ham on this dude, man. She was yelling for at least 5 minutes. How could you come in here, talk about your professional, blah, 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 knock my lights out. So I was laying there on the back doing a little plumber.
He's a YouTube electrician, bro.
He was trying to watch the video and the power went out.
Bro, wasn't it a conversation with you? My bad for cutting you off, but wasn't it a conversation with you at some point with Tackle? Didn't you say, like, the jobs are so easy, man, just go to YouTube and just figure it out. And then, and then you just knock out the job. Wasn't it you?
Yes, but here's the thing. So I did this job, and like I said, it was about 20 minutes worth of work, but it was like 20 minutes worth of sitting around and like trying not to deal with her wrath.
Yeah.
But the next job I went on after that, this was the one where I screwed up. It was like cut a pool liner. Do you know what that? So you remember the little bubble plastic things that they put over the pool in the wintertime to keep the pool hot?
Yeah.
Oh God, this man ordered one and he's like, yeah, he's like, you just got to cut it to size. And he's like, it's got little anchor points and whatnot. So I seen the little anchor points that you snap in, and I took the one and I laid it over the other one. Right. And I was like, oh, I could just cut these with scissors real quick. And it looked smooth. Everything looked fine and great. And then I went to go put it on the pool and I realized that I cut it upside down. The bubbles are supposed to go down.
How did that end? That's what I want to know.
He was cool with it because Tackle was going to pay for it. And Tackle reached out to me and was like, what happened? I was like, well, the instructions said to lay it on the floor, bubbles facing the sky, and then trace out the thing in the pool and cut it. So I followed the instructions and I kind of did my own little instruction, and I laid the current pool cover on top of the old pool cover, not realizing that since the instructions said bubbles up, I probably should have did bubbles down because the way I put the other pool cover was bubbles down. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to send him a new pool cover, and next week you'll go out there and you'll get paid for this job and the next job. So I got paid double.
Now, I'm listening to you tell that story, right? I don't even care how much you made on it, right? I know someone is watching or listening to this right now, and they're like, damn, what app they talking about? Because the app, didn't they, like...
Yeah, they went down during COVID. It just disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Like, they didn't say nothing to anybody.
Just disappeared. I had the app on my phone and it just stopped working. I
Yep.
deleted that one. That's like the first, and I don't want to say the only app because I think I deleted another app
Amazon
before.
Flex.
No, I still have an Amazon Flex. I think I deleted DoorDash, but I put it back on my phone. I put it back on my phone because opportunity. I'm like, do I want to delete this? Even though if it's the largest food delivery app right now, nah, I'm gonna put it back. So I put it back. You know what I mean? But Tackle was that app, man. And I always look forward to getting some kind of tackle jobs over the weekend. Cause I was just like, man, I'm gonna knock something out in the morning, do some quick jobs, whatever I could find, and then that was it.
Man, I love tackle, and that's what I'm saying. And then the next opportunity that came after that, I made a video on it as well, because I just kept my eyes open, like you said. Enjoy the view. And one of the things that I did, I remember you kind of questioning me a little bit about it. Carvertise. Carvertise was an amazing experience. It was an amazing experience in the beginning. They wrapped your car for a couple of weeks, and then they said something along the lines of, hey, we're going to extend this for a couple of months. If you want to extend, you're more than welcome to extend, and we'll pay you additional. And then we'll also, pay for rescheduling the removal. So with that one, I made like $1,200 in a matter of, I think it was 2 months. So $600 a month. And all they did was wrap my car and I drove around. Like, it was super simple.
Yeah, I was interested in that. But then I was like, I think at the time I had my Honda Civic, and I was like, man, I don't want to wrap my car. I don't want to wrap my car. You're going to mess up my car. And my vehicle did not look the best either. The paint was already chipping. Like, I had all kind of stuff going, like fading on the car, right? And I knew I wanted to do some things with it, as far as like souping it up and whatnot, and putting it in the shop and getting it repainted. But I was just like, man, at that time, I'm not wrapping my car. So I never seized that opportunity to make an additional whatever I could make with Carvertise.
Yeah, and I did it 3 times, and the second time I decided, because they said they'll give you an extra little bonus to unwrap your own car. I was like, fuck it, I'll rip this shit off. I started real slow, like looking up under it to make sure I'm not screwing nothing up. You just kind of yanking. And then towards the last couple of sheets of vinyl, I just started, was like, rip, rip, rip.
Yeah.
So opportunities.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They're endless. I mean, especially in the gig economy now with Fiverr and freelance and remote work, there's just so many opportunities in the gig economy where you could just be yourself and work from home, or do work for yourself. So I think people just stumble over those opportunities because they're so comfortable, like you said. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big part of, and motivation's a big part of it too. And they're stuck in the negative mindset that they're in, to the point where they're just like, I'm not going to look for any opportunities. They're all the same. But there might be something out there for you.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And this has nothing to do with this conversation, but I got to put this out there because we did a previous episode about tipping. Tipping is on Fiverr now. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't even know until I tried to get a job done. And I'm like, why? Wait, and you're pushing. They send you, hey, you want to do it now? Hey, you want to do it now? Like they push you. But I just wanted to put that out there since you mentioned Fiverr. And I'm like, why am I tipping somebody I just paid to do a job? And their advertised price is what I paid. Anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I went back, actually, now that you mention it, I went back and I tipped the guy that made, remember my old YouTube intro and outro? I went and tipped him, and then I tipped the guy that made my current business logo.
See, your bird in the background didn't agree with your decision.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out here. And like I said, man, the opportunities are endless. And I just feel like just starting people's week off with just a little bit of motivation to push them to find something new and do a little bit of stuff to kind of push it forward.
Yeah.
Like put it in your forefront. I know we're about enjoying the view and being where we're at, but push yourself forward just a little bit week by week. At the beginning of the week is when I found to be most successful to push myself to find something new, just so that I could think about what I could do the next week and
Yep.
put a plan into action by Wednesday. That's what I typically try to do.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, man. Wholeheartedly, and I think your bird agrees with me as well. You know,
Yeah.
so opportunities, fam. If you see an opportunity, or if you're not looking for opportunities, I suggest you open your eyes because they're everywhere. The same way a mechanic, your neighborhood mechanic, decided that he didn't want to work for a shop. He just was going to be the neighborhood mechanic. That was an opportunity that he saw at that time. And I should say she as well, because there's now a lot more she mechanics than I've ever seen growing up. But
And it's better of the mechanics, in my opinion.
and here's another thing. When the jobs get slow in the neighborhood mechanic now is a mobile mechanic.
Oh yeah.
I saw somebody with an old 1998 Ford Explorer, and they put their whole toolbox in the back, in the trunk. You know what I mean? And they are mobile mechanic.
But you can't knock the hustle though.
Can't
The man
knock
does it for a living, and like I said, it's all about the opportunities. It's all about making something for yourself.
Yep, I agree. And last thing I put out there, and I got to put it out there because it's just that simple. When you needed to get your dog groomed, you had to go to a specific location that groomed dogs. And it probably will have the title pet grooming, right? Someone, and now in Miami, many people saw the opportunity to create a mobile pet grooming service. So there's pet grooming on wheels everywhere now. So if you just take some time to sit down, stop everything you got going on, and just look around, you just might see some additional opportunities that you can pair up with DoorDash, that you can pair up with catering, that you can pair up with Uber, Grubhub, Instacart, Spark, whatever. You just might see an opportunity. And that rhyme, and I didn't mean to do it. But open your eyes, fam.
So I do have one last question for you before we wrap it up, right?
Okay.
What opportunities have you seen over the past, I'll say month and a half, that are new to you that you could share with a couple of people that you've seen that could possibly make them a little bit more money?
Wow. You put me on the spot with this one. Okay.
It's my turn to put you on the spot.
Now it's cool. It's cool because now my brain is scanning and I'm trying to think of all the opportunities that I saw. I mentioned the one that I told you about, my wife teaching certificate, and I saw that, and whether she chooses to do that or not, that ain't on me, right? But an opportunity. Wow, you really got me on this one, man, because there's so many that I can't even list off what I've seen. It's like I'm drawing a blank. I've seen so many, but I can't even say that they're brand new because I see so many people doing things.
And that's the point of the question too, because there's so many opportunities out here, they're endless. So you answered exactly how I wanted you to answer. I wanted you to be stuck.
But at the same time, you wanted me to be stuck, but I think I'm about to be unstuck. All right. So I'm like, okay, when I see gyms, right?
Mm-hmm.
People they they might not want to pay the traditional or go to the traditional gym. Like it might be a crowd thing, right? Um, Here's an opportunity that I saw, right? This guy or this company or whatever decided to rent space from, I believe they rent space from the mall, and they have vans with workout equipment set up in the
In
parking lot.
ooh.
And they have people, all their signs, everything is right there. Their vans are wrapped with the fitness. I'm going to make up a name. Let's say it's called Outside Fitness, right? You don't have to go to a gym. And I think the price is advertised as well, but you have to get the subscription. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
That's how you get
and they say, I believe when I was reading it, it's been a while, right? And I haven't seen the van in a while, but when I was reading it, I believe it said you get a personal trainer with
Wow.
this subscription. You see what I mean? But it's group sessions. So if you go to a gym, you want a personal trainer in the gym, it costs an additional amount of money versus what you pay already for that monthly
Yeah.
subscription, right? Or for the monthly membership, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with this outside fitness, the opportunity, and I haven't seen this anywhere else. Okay, I'll give. Oh, thank you. Another one just came to mind. But when I saw that, I was like, yo, personal trainer and monthly subscription or membership, and it's outside in the open, and it's
So
with the group. What?
I got a question. So does the equipment stay in the van or do they pull it out?
They open. All right, I saw a session going live. They open up the van,
Oh, so
all
it like
vans, and each van had something for the person to do, whether it was like elastic band workout or more like weights, right? Like dumbbells and stuff. Had a bench, had all kind of stuff already in the van, and they just pull it out. So
oh yeah,
each
so they pull it
just
out.
van,
Okay.
yeah, they pull it out. They pull it out, but each van was meant for something, whether it's strength workout or more cardio type workout. It's just each van was for something specific. You know
I
what I
don't know
mean?
why my mind kind of took it left, and I'm like, wait a minute. They got people that run in treadmills inside the van, so the van do one of these.
Oh
Could you?
no, they used the parking lot, bro,
Yeah, like
for the clients to run around.
it's genius, bro, genius. Because I'm sitting here thinking like there's a treadmill and a Peloton in the little thing, the whole
Yeah,
van's like this. I don't
yeah,
know why. I don't know why that's where my mind went, but
nah. But here's one more opportunity. I'm glad that we went into you. I'm telling you, now they popping up. So I met someone that had an electric generator, and or no, maybe I'm giving it the wrong name, but it's the charger, the generator form to recharge electric vehicles.
oh, the EV chargers, yeah.
He had this big old charger. You would never know. He ain't even got nothing going on back here. Like his van is just plain Jane, just plain old white van, right? And he got this big old charger back there, man. And he said, yeah, I'm a mobile charging business. A
I seen that.
mobile charging. I'm like, mobile charging? What the hell is
Yeah.
that? Then he told me only one other guy, I think he in like Arizona, and he making bank. He making a killing
Yeah.
out there. And I'm like,
'Cause
what?
when they die, right? So when these cars die, it's a bitch and a half to get it on a tow truck. It's a bitch and a half. You have to find the little override switch so that you can put it into neutral because it's all electric. So when it dies, you
I
can't
don't
even get
know
on the
anything
tow
about
truck.
that life, but thank you. Please
Yeah,
educate me. I don't
yeah.
know anything about EVs.
It's a bitch and a half. Like a Tesla, for example. If when it dies and you get what's called range anxiety. So when it says, "Oh, you should make it to the next charger," but you're pulling up and you're seeing like the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 miles left, and it's dropping a little faster than you think, like, and it dies, you have to call a tow truck. Most tow truck companies will not pick up a Tesla, and if they do, it has to be a flatbed. And you basically have to push it or winch it, or you have
There's an
to know.
upcharge.
Yeah, it's a Tesla tax, 1,000% Tesla tax.
This is what they don't talk about.
Yeah, this the shit they don't talk about, right?
Go
So you
ahead.
break down, and I think, what is it? What's Inside does it, or Jerry Rig Everything. He covers it. It's expensive. So these mobile techs are coming out and they're like, "Hey, how far do you got to go? You only got to, how far are you from the next charger, the supercharger?" "Oh, I'm 10 miles." Well, if I plug in my diesel generator for 35 minutes, I could charge you, say, $100 instead of $500 for you to get that 10 miles. Like,
And
that's what
people
they're
will
doing,
pay it.
bro. Yes.
People will pay it. Yes, bro.
Because the other option, there is no, I mean, there's Tesla roadside, but, and Tesla warranty service, but that shit's going to take forever. You know how small Tesla's service company really is? Like, that's why they're there. It's convenient.
Yeah, another one popped up, bro. Even Uber seizing the opportunity where they provided a new avenue for people that can do roadside assistance with a battery booster, right? Or whatever, right?
So like,
go ahead.
Like roadside warriors from Allstate. I used to do that.
All right, but listen, right? I'll never forget. My Honda Civic at the time. I picked up an order. It was Uber. I picked up an order, and they already had the Uber Eats Pro going, right? And I was up in the tier for me to get that roadside assistance or something, whatever it was at the time, right? And my battery died. I called Uber. Man, some random guy, and so like the truck was beat up. I ain't gonna lie, a beat up truck come, and he got his I guess his fiance or his girlfriend in the passenger side, just hanging out, I guess, going for a ride along, right? He comes, give me a boost, get my car started. I drive to AutoZone, get me a new replacement battery. But, well, I said new. Well, I don't know how AutoZone goes. But anyway, so what I'm saying is even Uber saw an opportunity versus it just being like, say, the State Farm roadside assistance. It's like, I think you have to have a policy with State Farm for you to be able to use their roadside assistance, right? Yeah. But Uber was like, yo, not everybody wants State Farm. You know what? Hey, would you like to sign up to be roadside assistance for Uber? Yeah. Then all these random people that could change a tire, that can boost your battery, that can, I don't know, whatever, get your car going again. They went through Uber to make some additional cash. So even Uber, a multi-billion-dollar company, saw an opportunity. Come on, fam. We got to see them. We open our eyes, man. I'm getting excited in this conversation. I done talked about, first, I was stuck. And now I done listed off 3. Like, oh, it's about to keep going. But nah. I think that's enough from me right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, Allstate was one of the funnest gig work jobs that I did. It didn't pay very much, but people tipped well every once in a while. Like you were saying, it's fuel delivery, jump start, change a tire, get your keys when your keys are locked in the car because you slammed the door and locked the door. That was the one I loved the most. I could get into a car with those little J bars in about, I'd say 35, 45 seconds. Because once you kind of get in a groove or something, you pump the bag up real quick, slide it in.
You trying to tell us of a previous life, Josh?
I mean, nothing I was ever caught for, but yeah. So I'll be I mean, we was kids. Shit happened. But so like you pump up the bags real quick, you pump, and you got this J bar, and you throw the J bar in, and I always went for the door handle because you just flip the J bar and the door handle pops the door. Some people will go for the little button. Some people will go for the little latch thing over here. I always went for the door handle. Shove that sucker in, pop it, and off I go. There was a quick fucking $35, $45 plus tip.
Hey, and if you
Plus
did a
tip.
few of those a day,
Yeah, they would always come at the worst times. Of course. Of course. You
yeah,
be in the middle of doing something where you're making decent money and you be like, damn, somebody locked the keys in their car. I'm only half a block away, but I gotta finish this real quick.
yeah.
There was a couple times where I picked it up and I was passing them doing like DoorDash or something. I'm like, I'll be right back.
Man doing drive-by scheduling. Like, what the hell?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, but man, I really enjoyed this conversation because, even in this conversation, I got excited, and I don't know if anybody saw it. I got excited about like just seeing more opportunities that would I want to get into EV recharging or a van with a gym in the parking lot. Like maybe these opportunities might not be of interest to me, but I know there's not many EV recharging businesses. So it's a lane. If I am interested enough, I can invest and get my own I don't know what you call that, an EV recharger? Like
Yeah, I mean it's just a Tesla charger, and you can get different amperages, right? So that they charge faster or slower, and it's hooked up to a diesel generator, a high watt diesel generator.
so that's all that is. So I basically would have to invest some money into getting me one of these things. But all I'm saying is if I would be interested at some point in life, then I see the opportunity because I only saw one person with it in my area. I could be their direct competition. How they choose to market their business, it ain't gonna be how I choose to market mine. I might get a lot more opportunities, or might get a lot more business than he does, or he might get a lot more than I do, or whatever. Or we can split, whatever. But all I'm saying is, right now, it's in my mind because I saw it for the first time. Just one person. I saw it for the first time. And if at any point nothing else ain't working, catering ain't working, Uber Eats, the base pay get down to 0.001, I just might invest in one of those EV recharging generators.
Hey, but even if the opportunity's not for you, doesn't mean you can't capitalize off it, right? So as you're sitting here and you're telling me it might not be for me, the first thing that came to mind is, well, shit, if I got money, I'll buy 10 of them and turn around,
and
put
have
them in
somebody else do it.
Yeah, take a percentage. Bro, I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
Uber was on to something. They went a little too far, but they were on to something. Hire contractors or service providers, whatever, and just boom, throw them out there. Every time we get a call, you go do it. You get a little bit, I get a little bit. We both happy.
I'm telling you, bro. So obviously there's a lot of opportunities, and I hope whoever's watching this heard some of them. If they never heard of them, at least they will get some kind of value from this conversation. I hope.
You know what? If they heard it, I want them to put a lightning bolt. If they got this far, I want them to put a lightning bolt down in the chat so we know they heard it.
We on fire. Tell you.
You got anything else you want to add before we deuces out?
No, to be honest with you, I really want people to just let that simmer, right? Just let that simmer. Look at what a multi-billion-dollar company is doing. Look at what another person introduced to me. Plain Jane van, got a big old generator recharger in the back, and I never seen anything like this in my entire life. And he did enough research to know there's one other person in a whole nother state doing this. So obviously this is a lane that he saw before I did. There's that opportunity right there. There's the other opportunity of, hey, if you are into working out and you don't have a location, maybe you could partner up with somebody's parking lot. Hey, you probably pay a lot less than having a storefront, or having an actual gym. And
Yep.
hey, listen, the elements outside.
There's a hell of a lot of abandoned malls at this point.
Hey, but at the same time, there's a no light bill. What's your overhead? You gotta pay
Zero.
gas for your van. That's it. And the
Your van
equipment.
sit there, you don't even gotta put gas.
But you get the maintenance and stuff of the equipment, making sure that they good. Okay, maybe that's part of your overhead. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. But you got no light bill. You got no. Maybe you have some rent so that you have to pay, or whatever. But
I feel like
the
you have to rent a porta potty or two.
Yeah, you probably would. But all I'm saying is the opportunities are out there, man. And I don't want to say much more than what we have shared right here in this episode, bro. There's not much more to share. I think just starting there, we could probably have another hour or more of other opportunities. Another one popped up in my head, but I'm just choosing not to say it because we'll be here for a whole nother long time because they just popping up. So I think I just want to just leave it there, bro. Put a lightning bolt in the comment section if you made it this far.
Yeah, like I said, I'll leave them with the quote: "Opportunities don't happen; you create them." So go out there and start creating them for yourself. Start your week off right. Find an opportunity for you.
I agree. So do I get to do the deuces this time?
I'll let you do the deuces this time.
All right. Well,
I took over your show. I hijacked it.
Well, deuces. Oh yeah. What time it is, D-Fam? It's time to go get your money.